Hey guys, it's Abita from Abita's Light Tarot. So this is a different kind of video that I am going to be doing for you guys today. One thing I want to say is I was just watching something that somebody put out. I've never seen this creator before, okay, this influencer. And he was on point about one thing. I noticed that a lot of the vehicles that are following me or stalking me, they're blue, red, or white. Mostly blue or red. And as you see, there is a blue car right behind me. I don't know if you see it. Hold on. I'm going to turn the camera. Okay. They just parked on the side of the road when they see me. Also, they were saying these people will wear red or blue, okay? Either their hat, their shoes, something. It's like a color code, all right? Most of them will. Not all of them have to, but most of these people, that's the colors that they'll wear, okay? That is something else I did notice. Even if it's just like a hat or a purse, okay? Sometimes even like a big hair, something in their hair, right? And look at that, a red truck. Wow, guys. I cannot make this up. All right, so that's one thing. What I meant by you're a seer, okay? Not only can you see these people, there's other things you could see. Once you awakened, it probably freaked you out, okay? You probably noticed things that were just a little off for you. You just couldn't understand. And you knew that if you said something to somebody that they may think that you might be crazy, and then you thought maybe certain people you trusted you might be able to talk to about it, and then these people gaslighted you or tried to say you were crazy, right? So what we're going to talk about today is the gang stalking, the gaslighting, the monitoring spirits. Now, I'm not that I don't when I do my videos. Usually I don't have anything I go by. I just use my cards or whatever. But right now, I'm not even using my cards. I'm just telling you what I know and what's happened to me. So use your discernment. If you're easily triggered, then probably don't want to watch this. Okay. I might go here and there, all over the place, but that's because I'm also walking and trying to pay attention to my surroundings as I'm talking, okay? I couldn't do this in the house. There were too many distractions. And so I took that minute to get out. And there was another download I was getting about something that was going on in some people's homes, like my own. And I also knew that I needed to go spend some time in nature and breathe, okay? Something about your air being polluted. That's not for everybody, okay? And a lot of what I'm gonna say, if you're not awakened yet, if you're not fully awake, or if you're easily triggered right now, some people take things the wrong way, and instead of just understanding it, okay, or researching it, they get paranoid or they get mad. And I hope that my smoking doesn't trigger you, but I use this when I'm walking for my anxiety, okay? Yes, I'm still human. I do get anxiety. Usually walking after a little while helps it though. Okay. Another thing that brought this up is that I've been getting bullied and gang stalked more than usual on my channel. That's because I'm speaking the truth. I must be calling people out a little more than I was before. Okay, I'm hitting something on the head because I'm being attacked more than usual. I knew that some of my karmic family members had something to do with this, all right, but everybody's getting targeted in their own ways, okay, in different ways. Some in the same, some could be getting targeted much more, less, depending on how much you guys are researching and how much you guys are speaking up. You've had a mark on you since you were born, okay? Because when you were born, you came here with a purpose. You have a mission. Oh my God, car. Wow. Okay, guys. No, I'm not on the movie set. This is not pre-planned. If I was, it would be a lot better, a lot better actors or actresses. I'm not saying I'm not good, but this is me. All right. So, I noticed that some of the things that were being said, okay, not only were they targeting me, but they're also targeting some of my people that actually, the ones that speak highly of me on their comments, those are the ones that they seem to like to go after. And when I seen that, I was so upset. I was really angry. And I said something on my live last night. And I was told I need to calm down. Because you guys are grown. And you guys know that this stuff's going to happen. You know, to use your discernment. And you guys know it's not me. Right? So, I calmed down and I prayed about it. So, these people, okay, we have 5% that are chosen. There's 4% that were awakened, and instead of them staying with the chosen, they were sellouts, okay? They wanted the clout, they wanted the greed. Some of these people ended up being the devil's best puppets, okay? He is the puppet master. Some of these people are not human, all right? Now remember, this is spiritual warfare. We are not fighting flesh, okay? This person that I was watching, I did take some notes, and he was talking about Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, and it says, the war is not against flesh and blood. All right, my writing isn't the greatest, but here is the verse. All right. Now, I loved it when he said that, because some people do take it as we are fighting people. We're not. All right. They can even take over animals. And I remember saying this in one of my videos, that when I was a teenager, I used to think that animals, some of them were agents, but like police, you know, like for the government, and that they were being used to monitor us to, you know, like get information for drugs or trafficking or anything like that. I never really thought, hello, that was a download. They could also be being used by them for evil, for other purposes. And some of them, it isn't robotics, it isn't IA or AI or however you say that. It is actually entities, spirits, okay? So remember, not all animals, some, okay? Some are here to warn us, some are here to give us downloads, some are here to protect us. And they also, and what I meant by 5% of the chosen are the awakened chosen, okay? So for people who aren't fully awake yet, who are like, what is this lady talking about? This is another thing this guy was mentioning. Some of these people who are not awake yet are also being gang stalked and studied. Even the people doing the gang stalking are being watched, okay? Everybody has a handler. You unplugged from the matrix. Once you took your power back and you said nobody is going to take my power, nobody is going to use me as a puppet, that's when they got upset, okay? You could have family members that were your agents. You could have ex-lovers that were your agents. Some people actually have kids that have turned on them and became their agents. You never know. It could be your best friend, all right? It could be a boss, okay? Somebody that you spend a lot of time with. And you got to think, like from the Matrix, Agent Smith. You notice how people, I don't know if you watched the last Matrix, but every person that they wanted to flip through, they were flipping through people like crazy because these people weren't awakened yet. They didn't do their inner healing yet. You know? And people who are on drugs, people who have an altered state of mind, they can easily manipulate. They love them people because some of them don't even remember. Oh, I had a blackout. Oh, what are you talking about? I didn't cheat on you. You know? Or they go in debt and they end up robbing a house. Guess what? Sooner or later, that person's going to be a chosen one. They didn't know. Right? Not all, but some. But they were being controlled. That's what the devil was doing. That way that they could use that against them later on in life. All right? Different ways that they've been targeting you since you were a child. They've been studying you. And the more research you do, the more awakened you get, the more gang stalking. The higher the levels, the more devils, okay? It's another thing, what I was just saying. If you're not fully awake yet and you go outside, pay attention to the colors of the cars. Pay attention to what the people are wearing. I used to think that it was more black, but no. They have something on them that is going to be blue or red. Even if it's just a thing on their hat or their shirt, like this person over here, but I'm not going to put the camera on them. Okay? And a lot of them will wear earphones. When I went through my awakening, I noticed that a lot of them had those, some of them even had those wireless ones that you could barely see. And I'm like, who are they talking to? Because they were giving messages back to their people. Okay, some of them are part of cults. They're part of the Masons. They're part of the Eastern Stars. All right? These people like to have gifts. Their secret is you. A lot of them, their secret is the gang stalking, the gaslighting, the entities, the spirits that they use. All right, the dirt digging, going out to cemeteries using ancestors and different things like that, using their the dirt from their grave. Okay. Now, a lot of them have upset Anubis. All right. Because Anubis, actually, some of you guys have ancient ancestors that are Egyptian. Some are Egyptian and Indian. You come from the bloodline of the Most High. You have an ancient blood line. So you come from many, and many come from you. You are one, okay? That's another thing you need to understand. When I said it's important to find out about your ancestry, your ancestors, some people, the reason I said go ahead and go through 23andMe or go through Ancestry is because some of you guys don't talk to your family anymore. Some of you guys can't get the information. And it may help you to do that, all right? Some of you guys still talk to them. You guys can find out this information. You guys can do the research. You don't have to do the ancestry. Some of you guys still talk to them, but you know that they're not going to tell you the truth. You know they're going to lie to you. Whatever it is, you have different ways to do your research, okay? They're trying to distract you. They're trying to get you to do other things. Listening to low vibrational music, right? Listening to music that has rituals in it, that have, or if you watch the videos, right? The more people listening, the more people watching, the more that their ritual is going to work. These people will, what I was saying is if you go outside, I keep getting sidetracked. I said I was going to do that though. If you go outside, you will notice, all right, that these people, you'll see them walking up and down the road. Some of them a couple times. Some you'll notice new people. You're going to have new people that are moving into your neighborhood because the other ones didn't work out, right? Or the other ones are done. They're moving on. All right? They want to get people who, because remember, the higher the levels, the more devils. The more you know, they're going to put other people in there, better people. People you don't know yet. People they want to have get to know you. All right? Ones with more experience. You'll notice the cars. Remember, the colors of the cars, the colors of what they're wearing. Look and see if they're wearing earphones, headphones. Pay attention to what they're carrying on them. Do they look like they're talking to themselves? Do they all of a sudden come out of nowhere? Are you walking and then all of a sudden you see somebody that come out of nowhere? Where do they come from? Right? Where do they come from? Where did they go? Their song? Yeah. You'll start seeing signs, synchronicities. You'll notice that things sometimes seem like a skit, right? It doesn't seem real. They'll have their eyes on you more. The more that you pay attention, the more that they'll watch you. You'll notice sometimes they'll have their phone on you. They'll be taking pictures. You know why? They're coming out with this new thing with robots and IA or AI, however you say it, where they could Photoshop stuff. They could take your picture. They could take your voice. They could mix it up, right? They take your picture and video of you doing different things. That way they can use this to try to alter it, try to set you up in some way, all right? Plus, they're going to try to make you look crazy. I know this because I've been there, all right? That's another story I'm going to tell you about. You'll notice that people that you are close to, even family, will just turn against you. They, some actually know that you're telling the truth, some of these people, but they either sold out or they're scared. Some people don't want to do the inner healing. They don't want to do the reflecting. And remember, there's a lot of celebrities that are involved that are higher up. These people want the fame. They want the recognition. They want your power. They want your voice. And they were promised things if they work for the devil. I also came across this thing in a book last night, and I was like, wow, I gotta share this with you guys. It says, having received this knowledge, I knew that we have no right to criticize any church or religion in any way. Now, this is meaning any church, any religion, anybody who is knowing, like they're of the knowing. They know that the Most High, that God, that, universe is real, that if you do good things come. If you do bad things come. Be careful what you say, treat others how you want to be treated. The main thing, right? See, the Most High will use different ways, and this is why I get mad when people judge me on my channel. The Most High will use different ways to get you guys to wake up. Sometimes people get tired. Like, you ever go to church when you were younger and you're like, man, I want to go home, or you would fall asleep, or you would ask to go to the bathroom a lot, you know, because you didn't want to be there, right? How are they going to get your attention? Hello? Tarot land, readings, using your spirit. There's different ways. Some people don't realize you don't have to go to a church to know that the church is in you. God is in you. All right? Some people, they like to go to church. They like to be a part of. Just know that, use your discernment when you are going to a church, though. Okay? Make sure that this church is for real, that they are not fake. So that this is saying is to criticize any church or religion or any way that will bring you closer to the understanding. They are precious and important in His sight. Very special people with important missions have been placed in all countries, in all religions, in all ways, in every station of life. Okay? They have a purpose. They might touch others. They might awaken others. There is a fulfillment of the gospel, of words, of praise, of prayers, of the knowing. But most people will not obtain it here. In order to grasp this truth, we need to listen to the Spirit and let go of our egos. I wanted to learn the purpose of life on earth. Why are we here? I couldn't imagine why any spirit would voluntarily leave this wonderful paradise and all it offered, words to explore and ideas to create and the knowledge to gain. Why would anyone want to come here?
Wait right there.
In answer, I remembered the creation of the earth. I actually experienced it as if it were being before my eyes. Okay, and this says, no one church can fulfill everybody's needs at every level. As an individual raises his levels of understanding about God, the Most High, the universe, and his own eternal process, he might feel disconnected with their teachings of his present church or people and seek a different philosophy or religion or a way to fill that void. When this occurs, he or she has reached another level of understanding and will long for further truth and knowledge and for another opportunity to grow. And at every step of the way, these new opportunities to learn will be given. Having received this knowledge, that's when she says, I knew that we have no right to criticize any church, religion, or any way that brings you closer to understanding the Most High. All right? When I seen this, I was like, man, these are signs. These are things I need to share. And, you know, I'm very glad that I was able to share these things with you. If you guys made it this far in the video, because I know some people, they only watch a couple minutes and then they're gone. But, especially when I'm not using my cards. Now, another thing is that most people that have gone through their awakening, they awakened in not a church, a hospital. A hospital. Look at this. It's a blue card, a blue truck. So yeah. Wow. But so most of these people, when they awaken, they either it was before they awakened or after. Okay. This is probably a big percentage, not all though, okay guys, have woken up in a hospital or went to the hospital. Now this hospital, you'll notice that they'll use this is another explanation, as a way to gaslight you. The hospital, right, depending on what you say to them or why you went there, will try to deem you crazy, right? You'll notice these people, you'll notice the ambulance, the same drivers, if you went in an ambulance, will be around your house, around your area, or you might see them at the store, or anybody that was around when you went through this awakening. You'll notice that they'll be parked on the road, okay? You just notice that you'll bump into people that were doctors, nurses, maybe people bringing the trays, the food. These are ways to make you go through something from the past, okay? Most of the time, it's not good. But sometimes, if you're starting to fall back asleep, it'll wake you back up, all right? So you can use it. Sometimes bad things can be used as good, okay? That's how you can alchemize it. But remember, they're going to try to bring things up from your past to make you relive it. So they'll bring people back in your life that were in your life that did something to you or that hurt you that you've already passed on from. And if you haven't done that healing, it's going to be a trigger. Okay? So remember that, and remember to be prepared for triggers. That's why a lot of us had to do our shadow work. And I said we're never done, because it will always come back up. But the more inner healing you do, the more you learn about yourself and you spent time alone, the better and easier it is for you to deal with other people, especially the people who have been alone. Now remember, when we had that COVID-19, whatever it is, thing, and we all had to be alone in our homes, that was the time that we were supposed to be inner healing. We were supposed to get to know our families again, our people that we lived with, our friends, our neighborhood, right? That was when we had more time to heal. Some people took it, some didn't. But that was when a lot of people went through their awakening, the first mass awakening, because you started to learn things, you started to notice things now that you were stuck inside. And then when you came back out, things seemed different. That's because Mother Gaia, the earth, had reformed, because she also had to go through her process, okay? All right, so when it comes to this, just know that you're not alone, okay? That is something that's going to be important for you to remember. You're not the only one. But since you were born, most of you guys, since you were born, have been a target because you are a light. You are a light source. You came here to be a light for other people, all right? Most of you guys are earth angels. You came here to bring heaven on earth. And you'll notice that these people, that the evil people, some of them, like I said, some of them, they're all being controlled in some way. Some are human, some aren't. But a lot of them have already sold their souls. Some willingly, some not. But they're doing these things, and you got to remember that our fight isn't against them. It's against the spirit. It's against the devil himself. I will share the person that I had watched his videos. He doesn't have that many subscribers, but he was on point, because a lot of things that he said happened to me, especially when it came to the hospital. You know, that's not where my awakening happened, but that's where I went after my awakening. And I can tell you what, they deemed me as crazy, and this is what I was going to say. I even have on video that when I said I was going to the hospital and my daughter was coming to pick me up, I had family members and their friends outside looking crazy, had like two or three different ways to get up on the roof, like 2 ladders and something else, was getting up there, taking things out of the gutter. Like, what are you taking out of the gutter? Right? And I noticed it was like a soil, like a dirt, so it must have been graveyard dirt. And a lot of you guys said you want to hear some of my story. Here we go. The bathroom, there was a vase, and it smelled so strong, like ammonia. I got so sick. My legs started to hurt. My body started to hurt. I was wondering why my family member's friend kept using my bathroom when they were staying in there in the other room that had a bathroom. Why are you using my bathroom? It made me very uncomfortable. But instead of me keeping that as evidence, I got rid of it. Because I threw it away. I was so mad. And then later on I thought about it. I'm like, man, I could have used that as evidence. But I was hurting. My legs were hurting so bad I had to go to the hospital. I noticed also there was marks on the sidewalk where you will notice chalk marks or something. Those were different marks that they made, that they did spell work, that when they put certain curses on you or certain rituals, that you won't be able to leave certain areas without having pain in your legs if you're walking, so you want to go back home, without feeling sick, without having anxiety. Also, I was getting like agoraphobia. I had this for a couple of years where I couldn't even leave my driveway without freaking out. That's what they wanted from me. They wanted me to be stuck in a home. I don't know if you guys ever watched that movie, Agoraphobia. It's about a girl who found out her father wasn't her real father, and that the whole time he was using this agoraphobia to keep her inside. He was the one that originally killed her mother, but he kept that under wraps, and it made it seem like her mother passed away from other reasons. And she had a psychiatrist that would come and visit her, but he kept everything surveillance under wraps. She started finding different clues because she started to look. She started finding things out. Then when she found out that this wasn't her real father, she tried to leave, but she couldn't even walk out the door. All right, it was hard for her to even get a package that was on the porch because it freaked her out. But she had to get out of the house. Eventually, she had to jump because there was a fire. Okay? Sometimes the Most High works in mysterious ways. To me, I kept praying and walking around in circles in the driveway, praying and praying for this to stop. I finally had to go to the doctor and get on medication that would help me calm down and help my anxiety, all right? But the prayers and the medication worked. Once it started working, I stopped taking the medication. Some people will be stuck on it, and that's another thing that they want. They want you to be controlled. They want you to not take your power back, even from medications, okay? Some people need certain things. I understand that. But if you could find a natural remedy, that's great. Someone mentioned something about marijuana. It is homegrown, right? I don't smoke, but I used to when I was younger. I understand what it can do. It can help you with anxiety. It's much more natural than using pills. That's not saying I recommend it. I'm just saying if you could use that instead of pills, I would say that's better because you never know what they could put in your pills, right? Now, again, if you're getting your marijuana from a machine, I don't know either what they could put in that. So, that, I don't know when it comes to that. But depending on where you get it from, how, everything else, that's a different story. If you're not overusing it and abusing it, though, then you're not giving them a reason to be able to take over your mindset because you're not altered. Remember, some of these people were also under the MK Ultra, and they had been, and see, they couldn't keep you under that. That's another thing. They could not keep you under that simulation. It's like a simulation ride. I was talking about this last night in my reading. They put other things in your mind, in your dreams, so that when you wake up, you don't know the difference. Sometimes people wake up with a whole different reality. Sometimes people will be mad at people that didn't even do anything to them because they think that they did. And a lot of people, when this happened, they were under some kind of medication, or they were under drugs, or they were under alcohol. Okay? That's a reason that to not use and do these things. That's why I try to be on the lesser the better when it comes to taking medications. I actually freak out even about taking vitamins right now because, of course, they come from a store, right? So I try to use like fruits and vegetables, but nowadays we're even becoming scarce with that. That's another thing that I've been wanting to look into because I feel that something big is sooner or later going to happen, all right? And a lot of us chosen are here for a reason. Some of us are good at planting, at gardening, at growing things. We can grow fruits, vegetables. We can grow natural herb for healing, right? Some are shamans. Some are good at healing, good for pain and stuff. Some are good at counseling. Some will be able to get at talking, at teaching. Everyone has their ways. So that's what everyone has a certain thing that they're going to bring to the table to help others if we ever come to this time, right? And what I was told is that the awakened, the chosen, we've been through so much and we've been prepared through all these lessons to be able to bear anything, any kind of change, to be able to adapt, and that we're going to make it. The people who aren't woke, who don't want to see the truth, who don't want to change, that some of them won't even make it to the new world, because remember, they're trying to do this whole thing with the marking and bringing Lucifer back, and this is part of what I was told, the Masons, right? But I'm doing research on all that, which is going to be another video, and I will have something I'll be following, so it won't be all over the place. This I just decided to do out of nowhere, so that's why I was telling you guys at the beginning to bear with me, but this message needed to get out. I was told that I needed to share this, okay? Because some people are letting the gang stalking and the gaslighting and everything get to them too much. But it's a distraction, okay? They're using this to get to you. Don't let it get to you, especially if you're listening to messages that are coming across in tarot land, okay? Because a lot of us readers, not all, but some, we have to tell you what comes out in the cards, right? So we're going to tell you what's going on so that you know that you're not crazy, so that you can loop all of this together. And that's what is important, is that you know that you're not alone, and that you know what you've been through or what you've gone through. Some will go through the process and now they'll understand before they even gone through it, because they'll be like, wait a second, I seen that, I know this person went through this and this is what they did, right? It's to help you guys. When I give you guys messages, it's never to hurt you, all right? That's not my intent at all. And I wouldn't even ask for donations or help if I didn't need it. I'm going through it myself. I've been in this community since I was a child, and I need to get out. Too many people know me, all right? No matter how many things I try to change in my ways. And that's the thing about when you live somewhere too long, it's time for you to go. They know your routine, okay? Even if you change it a little bit, even if you changed, they still study you in every which way they can. Insects, animals, people, cameras, all right? They take notes. These people are starting to use their heads. The thing is even if some of them know some of the things that you know, they don't want to be of the light. So because they keep following the darkness, they don't have the power, they don't have the energy to get through, because they're not leaning on the light. They're not asking for guidance and help. All right? But I want you guys to know, once I do get to a point where I don't need help, I'm still going to be putting my videos out. All right? I see people who are out there with a whole bunch of money. Tony, what's his name? Robbins or Rogers, or I can't believe I can't remember his last name right now. But he puts things out, right? And he's got a lot of money, but people still donate to him. People still help him. And he uses that for other things. So when I'm still putting my videos out and I'm set, I can use those things to help other people. And that's my intention, is that when I do get to a point where I do have it and I am able to take care of myself stably, in stability, with abundance, right? Then I'll be able to give back to others who need my guidance and help. And a lot of people even say that to me in the comments, you know, when they get there, that they're going to be there for me. And you know what? That's awesome, right? I'm just letting you know, not saying you don't mean it, but I'm just saying I do. And I appreciate all you guys who do say that. I do trust you guys, and I do believe in you guys, okay? But I'm telling you guys that I mean it. When I say that I'm going to be there for you guys and I'm going to help you, I already have plans in my mind and on paper that I have set for people once I am able to help, because I have the money to help. That is my intentions. That is my plan. All right? But yeah, so really quick, I woke up, my ex had, they had a thing. They wanted me out of the house. My mother was sick. I was taking care of her. And I was living with my mother, my father, and my 2 kids. And I had my ex there with me, with the girl. I got with the girl because I thought I wasn't going to get abused anymore. But she was worse than the guy I was with. She was so perfect at first. Said everything, did everything right. Then as soon as I let my walls down and I let her in, that's when she turned. And you know what? Especially when she knew she had my trust. because then I opened the door to her. And my father didn't want her in my home anymore. And so then I was hiding her, which I felt that he knew, though. He knew. He does that reverse stuff with me. And they wanted to get my mother out of the house because we protected each other. And I was taking care of her. I was a nurse's aide. And so I got used to that's what I did, you know? Well, my ex decided to inject me with something one night. I just remember something stinging in my leg, and I looked up at her. I was like, what is that? And before I knew it, I couldn't even do anything. It was like I was paralyzed. And I remember her saying to me that your kid's going to take one for the team. And I was out. I freaked out. Let me tell you. When I woke up, I grabbed all of her stuff off the counter. I ran up and down the street, freaking out. Now, anytime that I tried to call 911, I noticed that the same lady, how is it the same operator kept picking up? Everybody at the store, like it was like a skit. Like they all looked at me, they were laughing at me. No matter what I said about, hey, with my kids, they didn't care. The same officer that was there at my house, the same two, are the same ones that end up going down the street and meeting me down the road after I got done going to all the stores using their phones. I was on my hands and knees praying to the Most High to help me and my children and my family. And next thing you know, and my feet were burning, I had no shoes on. Here's the cops. And I just remember even the ambulance driver had the dark net on his tablet. He had the tablet. When he went to go put it down, I could see the screen. And I'm like, no, I want to go home. These people brought me home. Later on, I got back out. I ran down the road, and I had her stuff in my hand. I still had the bag. I had put it away somewhere where she didn't know. Somehow she knew things, though. She knew where I put things and everything else. Like they were monitoring me around the house. And I noticed, too, my father had put extra cameras up outside. But, of course, they could mess with those cameras, right? Especially anybody that could get in your Wi-Fi. I asked for help. The cops came. She already had followed me up there by then. We were arguing. She told them I'm on drugs. I'm crazy. I told them that, she had shot me up. That I don't know what it is that she used, but that she was threatening my kids. They never did a well check on my children. All right? They took me to jail for paraphernalia and for drugs. And when they put me in jail, they took my mother to the nursing home. So, not only did my mother get taken out of her home where she wanted to rightfully pass, she got put in a nursing home, but I had everything ripped away from me. While I was in there, they turned my kids against me. My mother passed away, okay? She had bruises on her eye, her face, her back. It was bad. Not only just bed sores, but she had a head thing where I felt that they did something. She got knocked out or something. All right. And then I come home. My ex had left, took all my things. She pissed off a lot of my neighbors. She started a scene when I was gone. All right, so she not only did that and pissed off my neighbors, but she started a big thing about me. And she took all of my things, my documents, paperwork, everything. I found out that later on I heard that she slept with my father. My kids just weren't the same anymore. My whole life changed. And then I was so used to taking care of my mother for so many years. Now, I didn't know what to do. My family didn't want me. My family acted like it was my fault that everything happened the way it did, that it was my fault. My mother, went through what she went through. They just twisted everything around, and my life changed from there on. And my name was just put through the dirt bad. And I could tell you, hold on one second. All right, guys, so I just seen some chickens, and wow, was that another sign? Look at, I don't know if you could see them there. So I was running free in this person's yard, and I just went up to go talk to them. And as soon as she came out, all over her was written that she's some kind of priest. I don't know if she's a good or bad one, but I could tell that she's a priest. And she was right down the street, and she has a red car, so whether that's a sign, I don't know. And now this red stop sign is sticking out to me. And here's another blue. Is that another sign or what? Wow. Alright, so that was right on about the blue and the red cars. Well, alright guys, so what I was going to say is, when I came home and I went through what I went through, okay, it was very hard. And, what is that? It was an eagle. You guys see it? Oh, where it went. You see that bird? Yeah, that's a sign. Alright guys. That's a vulture. First, for a minute, I thought it was an eagle, but that looks like a vulture. Look at this. It keeps coming back around. Look at... Oh, it sees the chickens. Okay. Alright, so, they took me in a bake rack because I was praying, and it was right after I called my family out. And this is why I tell you guys, use your discernment and don't freak out too much, and watch what you say to people. Because when you call somebody out because you know the truth, they might turn it around on you. They ended up using that against me, because how do you know all these things? You can't say, hey, I watched it on tarot. They're talking about my story, right? Because how many people are watching that? Right? Now, it's different if you're getting a personal reading, but then you got to say, are they able to use that in court? Right? So there's a lot to it. That's why I always say I do it for entertainment purposes only, because there's so many people I read for at one time. It's not because the story doesn't fit, okay? Or it's not because I'm not reading on your energy, but it's because everybody's going through something, and I'm pulling on different energies, and I don't want someone to take it too far like I did. I ended up going into a Baker Act. They did this to me 3 times. First time I got let go right away, like after a day, like half a day. Second time they kept me for a couple days. The third time they kept me for over a week. But that's because the FBI came to talk to me. That's another whole story. But they wanted me to look crazy. They wanted to put on me that I was crazy. They wanted to put me in there. Then the doctor wrote some stuff that was totally not true. They had no reason to even say that was... I've never, ever... what do you call it? When they diagnosed you. I was never diagnosed with anything that he wrote. They let me go. They didn't even put me on medication for it. So there was no reason that doctor should even wrote that on paper. Alright? But I know why he was doing it. Some of these people are also part of an Egyptian bloodline, but they're not doing it for the right reasons, okay? This person was from Egypt, but he was from the dark. But they don't realize, like I said, you guys have Egyptian ancestors that are protecting you. You have Indian ancestors that are protecting you. You have other bloodlines that are protecting you. Irish, other ones too, because you are the Most High's child. You have his blood. You come from that bloodline, your royal lineage, okay? That's what I mean when I say that. So you're being protected. These people don't realize that. So when they turn on you and they send these different gods, goddesses, deities, entities, whatever, toward you, the Most High is in charge. He created everything. He lets them know this. They end up knowing who you are and protecting you and turning on them. All right? So, just so you know, they did that stuff to me. I did end up coming home, but instead, I didn't play stupid, but I just didn't talk about it. Now, I walk in silence. I still do my research. I still move forward, and I'm still walking on my purpose and on my path. And I'm trying to help you guys with signs, synchronicities, messages, to know that you're not alone, even when you are feeling alone. Okay? And everybody has their own beliefs and their own path. So what you believe doesn't mean it's wrong, okay? It's just that's what you believe. But don't get upset if somebody else believes in something extra or something different. As long as they're doing right, they're not doing wrong. Just like I read from that book. Once you get up in the levels, you'll start researching more stuff. Just like I noticed that this one person in my family who's always been against me because of his religion and because he does other stuff, he's been watching different shows now that I've been noticing that are enlightening shows about spirits and about stuff like that. So I've been like, wow, what is this? That's because they're studying you, but while they're studying you and trying to get to know this stuff, some of them may have their own awakening. The ones that are human, that were taken over. Okay? Because a lot of us, not all of us, some of us, most of us had come from bad things or things that have happened in our life that we had to go through karmic cycles ourselves, right? We had to go through inner healing. We had to heal from something. Nobody could say that they're a total saint, that they haven't done something in their life, okay? But we came here from there. Some people do have bad intentions and they know what they're doing. But that doesn't mean that some people can't change. All right? But some of us are more important when it comes to awakening other people that are chosen, that are, once they're at that point, you know what I mean? Not saying that we're better than anybody. That's not what I'm saying when I say more important. What I mean by more important is that we have the knowledge that some people don't have yet. We know things that others don't know. Alright guys, so hopefully you guys got the mat. I didn't realize I was walking that whole time with the phone down to the ground. But it's okay, you guys don't have to stare at my face when I talk. I love you guys. And like I said, this was just a video for a better understanding on this gang stalking and gaslighting and everything else. Don't let it put you in fear. Don't let it give you anxiety. Take notes yourself and use discernment. Wow, look at this. These two cars next to my house are red and blue. Blue and red. Red. Wow. Okay. I'm going to keep wowing today. Today my word is wow. But take notes if you can. Take pictures, take videos. You'll notice in some of your videos and stuff, you'll notice that the ones that are taken over by entities that are actually not from here, okay? You'll notice they're shape-shifting. Some of them are reptilian. You'll notice like they're green, the coloration, the changes. That's another thing that guy had mentioned in his video, and he had a picture of a lady who was, you could see that. I've noticed that myself when he mentioned that. I noticed that myself. There is one person who works at a place that I used to go to eat a lot, and that's what I noticed about her, is that she just had that, she changed, she shape-shifted one day, and it was like, wait a second, her skin color didn't look right, the way she was acting she wasn't acting right, and she was telling somebody, well, you didn't call me, like basically didn't let her know I was coming in, but I was listening, I was understanding what she was saying, even though she was trying to talk in code. Remember, they also white vehicles, but mainly blue and red. Alright guys, so like I said, you're not alone. You may be seeing things that nobody else will be seeing because you're a seer. The higher the levels, the more devils. The higher the levels, the more you're going to see, the more you're going to understand. A lot of things are kind of like a play. It's like the Truman Show, right? Like the Matrix. If you haven't seen those movies, watch them. Alright? There was another couple movies that he mentioned. Let me see if I have it written down. And I will share his video so that you guys could see if any of you guys do want to understand this. Should I write them down? Oh yeah, another thing that these people are using is Bitcoin. Okay. And if any of you guys have kids or grandkids or nieces or nephews that are kids, make sure you pray for them, okay? Because remember, if some of these people are of your bloodline, they're probably going through it too and don't realize it. It's all about control. But yeah, once you unplugged from the Matrix, that was it. So when I say you unplugged, meaning you took your energy back. And they want to put you back in there. I don't see the videos. I thought I wrote them down. Alright guys, peace, love, and light. I will see you guys later.